VOD recording is starting, and now here we go, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, meine Damen und Herren, señores y señoras. This is a special Andre casting. This is the Craft Cup number 32, and we have Underdark playing against Beastyqr here on Zelnaga. Kevins. I was taking a sick leave. Now I am back in action, back in the zone. Already once again, we have Underdark here spawning as the teal Protoss in the bottom left. We have Beasty as the blue Terran in the top right. And before this game started, I was asking Beasty if his PvT was improved a little bit, because a couple of weeks ago when I was casting his games, most of the times when he lost against a Protoss player. He was not too confident with his Protoss versus Terran. He was complaining about Protoss, the race in general, quite a lot. And so that's why I asked him, and then he told me he trained with Doro, he trained with TT1, and he trained with Kiwi Kaki. All really good, 3 Protoss players from the US service. So I told him, good for you, because I was really happy for him, and he told me it's not good for him, it's actually very good. So he's a little bit more and even much more confident in his PvT nowadays. He was just checking are there actually any proxy pylons, any proxy gates, but no, there are not. Now he's in the base of Underdark, seeing nothing too suspicious there. And he's moving out of the base. So what is he doing? He's going for the early concussive shell marauder pressure, and this is really getting more and more common nowadays. Not only on the European servers, also a lot on the Korean tournaments, like for example the GSL. You see a lot of Protoss player getting attacked by Terran players in the PvT quite a lot, because PvT actually is the matchup played the most currently. I mean, not 100% sure if it's actually a fact, but at least it feels for me if it's a fact, because more and more PvTs is what we currently see, even though still PvZ is my most favorite matchup in the world. And what's a normal follow-up if a Terran player decides to go for some concussive shell early marauder pressure? The follow-up is another command center. There we see another barracks is being built here next to the stack lab. He was lifting up the barracks to build a reactor right away, and now he's got his 2 marauders, this 1 reactor and a sentry, did I say sentry? I mean SCV, to go for some pressure. What does Underdark have? He does have a stalker, a sentry, and a zealot, so he should be safe against those. That's why Beasty's sending his SCV at the front. This force field was actually not too well placed here. It does not have even enough energy for another force field, so this zealot will go down. What about this stalker? So only 1 stalker and 1 sentry left. This sentry will go down as well, and most likely those 2 forces will go down there too. But he did some damage. He did enough damage. Killing a sentry, killing a zealot is more than enough. So now Beasty just sacrificed 2 marauders and a CV and a marine to see what's going on in the base of Underdark and to do some damage here. So this first attack was absolutely successful. Meanwhile, his command center finished. The command will be finished in 15 seconds there as well. We have the second barracks up and running. There is the factory going up for Beasty right now, so 1 barracks into expand, into another barracks now added with a factory, going for the bunker right away, because Underdark now might be going for a counter push, but 3 sentries, 2 zealots and 1 single stalker will not be enough, especially considering that this bunker will be finished in the next 15 seconds. The stim for Beasty will be finished in 45 seconds there as well, and the bunker in 4, 3, 2, 1. Did it? Boom. This expansion is safe for the moment. Now Underdark going for the Nexus here as well as this natural expansion. Underdark putting down a forward pylon, going for an first immortal. He got the observer out already. Their Beastie is walling off this backdoor entrance. Oops, sorry. He is walling off the backdoor entrance with an engineering bay to prevent any sneaky DTs or zealot run-bys from happening. So Beastie is now moving out. He's got the stim finished. He's got enough forces here to do some damage, but of course he needs to pay attention because Underdark 5 sentries with enough energy for 11 force fields at the moment, and those 11 force fields can be quite hurtful. So of course Underdark Beastie needs to pay attention there. What else is he doing now? He's adding more marauders, more marines. Now he's reacted. He is reactoring some hellions out. I'm actually not sure if the word reactoring exists, but you heard it here first. So, going for some medivacs as well to support those mariners and marauders, of course, always a good choice. This engineering bay just finished. Here's the observer by Underdark. He knows what's up with those marines, he knows what's up with those marauders as well. So it is 2-base Terran against 2-base Protoss. I would say Beastie has more... He can do more damage right now with those stimp marines, marauders and the hellions. On the other hand, the forces of Underdark are a little bit more versatile at the moment, thanks to the sentries, with the force fields, with the guardian shields, and having the immortals in the back dealing some damage to marauders and stuff, having the zealots at the front to take some damage. So should be good for him. So Beastie going for the command center. For the gold or for the low ground, he's got this single marine, not watching out what's going on here at the Zelnaga watchtowers. Underdark is pulling back. He's got rid of his own destructible rocks. There we see a medivac full of 4 hellions moving out, and just let me check on it. And yes, those hellions will not have the blue flame, but here are already 5 stalkers waiting. Beastie spotted those stalkers, he pulled back just in time, so those 4 hellions won't be able to do some damage here. And he dropped all of those hellions right now to go here directly in the mineral line of the natural. And there are 3 more force fields trying to prevent him from doing some damage, and there he is, still alive, and all those probes are clumped up together. All those hellions, even without the blue flame, just killed about 18-20 probes. This was absolutely a huge mistake by Underdark. If you see a couple of hellions not having the blue flame, never run away, and even don't run away to a dead end. But he did this, he paid the price, and all those hellions without the blue flame just killed so many probes right now. Let's take a look at the harvester count. There we see what's going on. Beastie now landing his command center here at the gold. He is ahead 11 harvesters, even though the Protoss, assuming nobody kills each other's harvesters, should have some more harvesters as well, making this attack even a little bit more powerful. There we see Orbital Command is coming up. This Nexus just finished for Underdark here at the Golds. So the expansion timing is pretty much the same for both guys, but Beastie in a small lead right now because yes, he was able to hurt the harvester count a little bit more, even though he is not too much ahead in terms of economy. Let's take a look back to the production tab. We see Underdark is having out 1 Colossus. He's got the thermal lens just finished. Their Beastie is scanning, seeing exactly what is going on. Do we see a ghost on the field? And yes, there's a ghost already trying to attempt to go for an EMP, and an EMP on those units is an absolute must. Underdark having 2 immortals, having 9 sentries. Just imagine a perfect placed EMP. Boom! You just only need 10-12 marauders to clean everything else up. But Beastie's got even more units. He's got 20 Marines, he's got 12 Marauders, he's got a Siege Tanks, he's got 2 Medivacs, 6 Vikings, so everything else is what he's got, and looks like he's attempting to go for a drop once again. 8 Marine drop it will be this time. There's nothing going on here in the base of Underdark. Beasty having a Marine at the 9, at the 3 o'clock as well, to see when he's moving out. So now he is going for some distraction here at the Zelnaga Watchtower. Meanwhile, at the same time, this drop should start very soon, and there's the big battle occurring at the gold of Underdark. There are the Marines and Marauders, now even with the stim pack, and he is slowly pulling away. He does not want to get force fielded by the sentries. Viking meanwhile taking out those 2 Colossi, and here's the drop going on in the main of Underdark. So Beasty with a very good multi-prom attack. What about the EMP? And yes, we saw an EMP. It landed on about half of the sentries, but still this cannon is here, and the remaining forces of Underdark still doing some damage. It looks like Beasty will be able, now he has to pull back because the probes now helping out a bit, but the damage has been done. Beasty in a very good position. Underdark was not able to hold this drop off here in the main at the same time, deal with all those forces here at his gold. So let's take a look at the harvester count for the moment. Once again, it is 55 to 64, and now it is 58-64, so not that big of a difference, but he's not mining any gas at his net, at his gold. Meanwhile, Beasty is able to mine some gas. We can see the income is a 400 for Underdark, nearly a 720. For Beasty, the supply is currently telling us Beasty in a 24 supply lead for the moment, and the production tab is telling us that Underdark is now going one step further in terms of technology. He's now going for the Templar Archives meaning okie dokie, he wants to have some high Templars out there in the mix as well. Going for the +1, even though the +1 might be a little bit too late, but it's no big deal because Beasty only just started with the +1 himself, but he's going for the +1 attack, armor, and the attack for the mech as well. Going even for another command center. Here it is to land this here over there at the low ground, but Underdark still having the Zealot there to block everything else. So this Marine just got killed, this Marine just got killed as well. So Beasty does not have, he's a little bit in the dark regarding all those other expansions. The only thing he knows is that still with this Marine there is no expansion by Underdark on the low ground. So now Beasty wants to go for some missile turrets here, of course, with the Zealot being there. SCV-1 and SCV-2 will get taken out. Where are the remaining forces of Beasty? Here they are. 2 Marauders and 1 Marine taking out this Zealot. The Zealots now with the charge finished, and there Beasty is doing a scan again. What about the High Templars? They do not have the Storm just yet, and the only thing they can do is feedback right now. So it's no big deal for Beasty just to take everything else out. He's even got a Thor in the mix, and with the Thor being able to take some additional damage to the Viking, being able to take out this last Colossus, it is looking very good for Beasty right now, taking out the remaining forces of Underdark here at the goals. But now Underdark warped in some more charged Zealots. The cannon still doing some damage. For example, this cannon absolutely worth it at 5 kills, the other cannon at 3 kills. But there Beasty just picking up the Thor, flying away because he knows Medivac is fast enough, and with his Vikings he's got the air superiority anyway. Now this command center landed, the planetary fortress will be finished in 10 seconds. There are these transferred SCVs, so let's take a look at the harvester count once again. So it is 72 probes against 71 SCVs, but the supply count is telling us a complete different story. 185 supply against 123. There we see Marauders checking out the 9 o'clock. We should see some forces here at the 3 o'clock. And yes, this 4 Marauder Medivac, there we see the green arrow rally directly here to the low ground. But a Zealot is waiting there, a Photon Cannon is there waiting as well, and now Beasty transitioning more and more into mech. He knows, okay, High Templars are in a really not so easy